Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. Thank you for being here. I am getting a super late start today, just because it's okay. You don't, you know what? It is what it is. I'm here, you're here. Thank you. If so inclined, please subscribe to the channel and like the video if that resonates with you. I am in the mood for a celebration. So I have my Celebrate mug. I love this one. It looks like pottery. It looks like it was the shape of it, everything about it, I absolutely love. But I forgot where I found it, but it was just a store purchase, and I'm sure it was on clearance. You know, you gotta love a sale rack, you know, for anything, or aisle. So anyway, the energy and I'm feeling excited. And I don't think that's just for me personally. I think that's part of the collective vibe going on. So I do feel like we have jumped a hurdle. We have crossed a threshold into a new energy. And it can change from day to day, from hour to hour, from week to week, from month to month, obviously. But I do feel like we are officially in June now. And this week and possibly next week, I feel like mid-month, it's like everything is going to change. Nothing will ever be the same again, but in a good way. Hopefully it's in a good way for everyone, but I think it will, between now and then, there's going to be some shakeups and things. And I felt this last week too, that the first 2 weeks of June will be a shakeup in terms of the energy, and it will force us to make all of us are part of the collective. It will force all the individuals to, it's almost like a wake-up call. It will force you to change the way you do things, the way you view things, and it will be the catalyst that will lead you to someplace bigger, better, brighter, and more wonderful. So the seed has been planted, okay, and it will continue to germinate and sprout over the next 2 weeks. By mid-June, I expect a huge rush of power and energy, and I mean positive, uplifting, internal locust of, am I using the right word there? I don't know. But something is going to flip a switch inside of you that's brewing right now and over the next 2 weeks. So that's the overarching dominant energy for today, and that's why I feel like we need to celebrate. It's time to look at the positive and look at the good. And I need a drink of my coffee. Yeah, I know it's about midday, but I haven't had my caffeine fuel for the day yet. And I've been up for a while taking care of stuff. So, that is so good. That is a Green Mountain blend, and it's just called Blueberry. Oh, it's so good. No sugar or anything in it, because that would just spike my blood sugar faster than you could ever imagine. I'm not diabetic, but I want to keep it that way. All right, so I only brought out 2 decks, the Thelema Mini and the Light Seers Pocket. Both are tarot cards, and we are going to get general messages. They're saying start with the Light Seers. Okay, so I am a psychic medium. I am an energy reader. Take note, energy reader. And so it's the currents, the vibes, the energies. I get motivations, things like that. So what I use the cards for, as many of you know, it's a jumping off point for me, because this is a general reading. Please understand that. It's a general reading. It cannot apply to everyone. And no, they were saying that's enough. Okay. So I call in my guides, my guardians, and my protectorate. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being with me. Give me the wisdom, the knowledge, and the words to know what to say for the collective, for elements of the collective, all of the collective, whatever the message is. And they are about ready for a big time channel. So I don't know when that's going to come through, if it's going to be today, if it's going to be tomorrow, later in the week. But I do feel like we got a channel coming in. Okay. Just help me to understand when to be ready for that. Thank you. All right. What is the message for the collective today? What is the general reading message from the Light Seers Tarot for elements of the collective today. And they're saying look at the bottom, which is the Tower. You know, this Tower card really makes me laugh. It's like lightning and destruction and the crumbling down of the old to build the new, which is pretty much what I was just saying, you know, a minute ago. But yet we've got this squirrel. We got this cute little squirrel on the bottom, and squirrels are like clowns. Like, you know, the last place I lived, there was a kitchen window and there was a squirrel. I took a picture of it. There was a squirrel that would just like plaster him or herself up in that window because the cat or my cat liked to get in that window, and the squirrel would terrorize my cat, knowing full well my cat could not get to that squirrel. And it's the funniest thing ever. So they're smart, they're playful, they're funny, and they're like, yep, that's coming down. Tower's coming down. Time for the new. So anyway, that's on the bottom of the deck. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay. Now, what order do you want me to take these in, Spirit? Because a big chunk flew out. What order? And not all of these? Okay. The two on the top. Start with that. Put the rest back because they're all, I can't see what they are, face down. Okay. Leave out the Tower card. Put it at the beginning. All right. What are the... Okay, here we go. Now we're getting the rest. Sometimes you just have to listen. There's no right or wrong way to read cards. It's going to be up to what works for you and what is spirit motivated. Now, anybody can manipulate the cards to say what they want to say. Like, I don't know how many of you, I know you guys have seen those funny memes about, you know, someone says, he's not coming back. And the client says, read them again. You know, it's like, well, and I'm cleaning up a little bit. It's, you know, it is what it is. So I just listen and do what they tell me to do. And there you go. I am more clairaudient than anything. Clairaudient and claircognizant. But my body is my biggest psychic tool, as it is for most people. And put those down, get these off the floor. And so claircognizance, I mean, not claircognizance, that's like a download. Sentience or sentience, that's your feelings, pretty much empaths. Anyone who's empathic, you are all clairsentient. So anyway, I don't know, I guess somebody needed to hear that, I don't know. The one on the top, they said take the one on the top this time and put it at the end. Well, the end is down here because I ran out of table space. Okay, so, and I got to charge my little microphone up, so I'm trying to be a little louder because I'm not sure how well the sound is coming through on this. Okay, so, I'm going to show you what we've got here, and then I'm just going to let Spirit take over and let them say whatever needs to be said. All right, we talked about the Tower. That was first. They said put that first. Eight of Swords, the Hermit, the Emperor, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Six of Cups, and they're saying stop right there and mention this really quickly. This isn't revisiting the past. This isn't someone from the past coming back. This is about, I mean, it could be, but in this instance, in this reading, and what I'm hearing very specifically is that you are remembering who you are and you're getting ready to go back to the origins of what you know and how you do things. You're getting ready to get real old school with your practices. Okay, you're getting ready to go back to what you know and the way you know to do things. All right, so whatever that is, whatever area of your life, you're going back to some old teachings. Okay, that's it. That is spot on. You're getting ready to go back to the old teachings. Okay, not any of this new, manipulated, created, hodgepodgey. You're getting ready to go back to the origins. Okay, and some of it's ancestral because your ancestors are working with you. All right, then we've got the Three of Pentacles. I think it's always funny they use I know that's a tapestry. It just looks like a stoplight to me. And then we have the Two of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and then we ended up with the Lover's card. Okay. And look at their hair. It's like whoosh everywhere. So this is like the swirling energy of being in their own little bubble of space and time. And that's what I'm getting. All right. They're also telling me give the tip. All right. So the tip here about tarot, because I'm not a trained tarot reader. I've always been an energy reader. So the way I read the cards is that it can be read differently every time. And they're using this one as the example. Like the last time I had this card in a reading, this guy was just annoying me to no end because I just felt like he was being disingenuous and a poser and all that. This time, it feels very sweet and gentle and taking your time, going back to the start, which coincides with the Six of Cups, about going back to the origins of how you know how to do things and what you know, going back to your ancestral wisdom. And this one, this time feels very sweet, like a new start, a fresh start, wiping the slate clean and going back to the beginning. Oh, and if you guys are looking at this, I think I got this at like a Ren fair for $10. I mean, things don't have to be expensive, you all. And it's almost just complete mica, but it's lepidolite, and lepidolite is very often like, here's a piece right here. This is the difference. Sometimes it's almost opaque, sometimes it's real shimmery. It depends on how much mica is in it. And again, you don't have to spend a fortune on stuff. I just think that's the prettiest thing ever. So it makes me happy. So just keep your eyes open for the deal. Keep your eyes open for it. All right. And that's a message too, because it's come up twice now. So someone needs to hear this. You don't have to spend a lot. You just have to ask Spirit to direct you to the right places at the right time to find what you need and what you desire. And just tell them, I need to be on budget, so, or whatever it is. Okay. All right. So Spirit, what do we got here? Pretty much, a lot of this is coinciding with what I said in the opening. The walls came crumbling down around you. You were then motivated to, and there was a lot of, like, this is the card of self-fear. This is the card of being trapped in your own mind and anxiety. It's just, it feels like more than fear. It feels like it's anxiety. But this reflection is not your reflection. You're reflecting something around you. So you don't have to worry about that. As soon as you go within and you let that light shine, you remember who you are. You go back to the mountaintop. You go back to your origins. You go back to letting your light shine, getting out of your head and just doing what you know how to do, whether it's in a relationship, a job, with your family, raising your kids. And for some of you, it's raising your kids. You know how you need to raise your kids. Don't let anybody else tell you how to do it. Now, of course, you don't want to hurt your kids or abuse your kids or be heavy-handed and all that. I mean, you want to raise loving, compassionate, wonderful adults, but at the same time, sometimes you just got to grab them up by the back. And I'm not saying literally, but it's like, if a kid is getting ready to put its hand in a flame on a gas stove, you don't say, oh, well, let's trial and error. No, you're going to yell, get your hand out of there, get the hell out of there, excuse me. But sometimes your emotions take over. So you're not going to take the easygoing approach to a kid getting ready to burn their skin off. No, you're going to jump in, you're going to jump to action. So don't worry about what other people think. You know how to raise your own kids. That's really strong. And that is coming up really strongly right now. I'm hearing political warfare. So, and I don't mean like politics in the world. I mean like inside the home. So there's some kind of, it's almost like a manipulation, like a chess game being played out. And it has to do with family. So how long will that go on? And what do I need to say about that? It will play itself out. You might be surprised at the turn it takes. And it's going to be exposed for what it is. It might actually help the person who's doing the manipulations, because it might force them into an awareness of what am I doing? What does my life look like? Why does it look this way? What do I need to do to change it? So that could be a positive thing. Mm. Oh man, that's good. All right. I feel like my eyes are crossing or doing weird things today. I got my one wonky eye there. Um, so what else have we got? So everything came down around you. You were trapped in this sense of anxiety and what's it all mean? And then you remember who you are. You find your light. You radiate it out. You step into your emperor mode. Now, this is more of the assertive side, male or female, it doesn't matter. So this is going into your highest possible authoritative, but in a good way self, but in more of the assertive rather than the nurturing receptive mode. Because sometimes they always make the empress like pregnant with the belly of the world very often, and that is more of a nurturing receptive at your peak of power person, whereas the emperor, and especially this one, is more so. Is he holding a chess piece? Or is that a statue? I'll be darned. And I think he's on a chessboard. And I just called it a chess game. I have seen this card I don't know how many times, and I've never noticed that before. Somebody said, hold it up. There you go. And no, this isn't live, but I know when somebody sees it, I'm hearing what they're going to say. I know it's weird. Okay. So then we've got the Knight of Cups, new beginnings. You have the strength, the power, the wherewithal to say, I know what I'm doing. I know who I want. I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do. I know what I want my life to look like. I feel like this is a very personal reading about someone deciding what they want their own personal life to look like and reflect. Okay? And it's the beginning of falling in love with your life again. Oh, that's a big statement. Oh, ooh. That was almost like one of those, I can feel spirit almost wrapping me up in their arms and saying, that's it, you finally got it. So, okay, I'm human, it takes a minute. So you are getting ready to begin the process of maybe for the first time in your life, falling in love with your life. All right, the Page of Swords. You're going to be learning. You're going to be learning something new. You're going to have great ideas. It's going to be just like this epiphany of, oh my gosh, I finally know what I want and I'm going for it. And you're going to do it by going back to your roots, going back to the beginning, going back to what you learned and the messages you got. You want what you had or what you saw when you were young. You have relatives and ancestors coming to help you with that. Now, the Three of Pentacles means, in this instance, I feel like it means coming into union, which is a lot of times the Three of Cups, I think. But in this time, or in this instance, but it's more for building something, building and working toward a joint cause. And I know this is a weaving and a tapestry, but come on, don't you all see like the old street lights, but in a weird order? Yeah. So for some reason, something about a street light is very important. And I think it's literal, because what I'm getting and what I'm hearing is there is a street light, like the old-fashioned kind that hanging is what I'm getting, but it could just be the stop, start, whatever, but it's on a street corner. So there's a street corner with a stop and go street light. What about that? Why is that important? Why is that important for this? You use a little extra caution. People are driving like they've lost their minds. But also, you're going to know when it's time to move and to go, and you're going to know when it's time to slow down, pause, like a yellow light, and you're going to know when to come to a full stop. There is a time and a season for everything. You will be guided how to do it, just like you don't look at a street light and say, well, I know it says green, but I think I'm just going to sit here in the middle of the road and stop for a while because I like red better. Well, no, you're not going to do that. That'd be crazy and will cause an accident. So you follow the rules here, but you're guided as to when it is your turn to go, when you need to stop, when you need to go. Okay, so I feel like that's important. You're going to be divinely guided. You're going to get the nudge. You're going to receive the instruction about when that should happen. But it is not something that you have to worry about right now, because you're going to be helped along and you're going to know what to do when the time is right to do it. I think this is the yellow light. You're taking a breather, you're watching, you're evaluating, you're thinking, you're planning. What's on the floor? I just heard, look at the floor. There's a globe, and it looks like a little VW bus that's been either drawn, or so it feels like there's going to be movement involved, travel involved. So this is the time to sit down. And something about that staff in her hand, I'm getting, it's time to draw a line in the sand. It's time to decide what you will accept, what you won't accept, what you want, and you're getting your itinerary together of sorts, even though you're already there. So I think this is going to be the yellow light. It's time to slow down, kind of roll up to the stop sign, and it may turn green by the time you get there, or light green by the time you get there, or usually it's going to, no, it's turning red, so you need to stop for a minute, but it's going to give you the time to do what you need to do. That globe and that little VW bus thing was the important part of that. Because when you come out of this stage, when you come out of this Two of Wands stage, the planning stage, this is the seeds have been planted and they're germinating. You're kind of ruminating on what to do next and how to go about it and what is your time frame and all that kind of stuff. So the next card is when the seeds have sprouted, they're coming out of the ground, and you can tell what kind of plant it is. It's the Knight of Wands. Interestingly, I'm seeing there's a yin and yang aspect of this. In the Knight of Cups, there's a white horse in the background, and in the Knight of Wands, there's a black horse in the background. But look at the color difference. One is about just that spark of new joy and happiness and looking toward a new beginning, and this one is heading straight on at a gallop into it. You have found your fire. And that fire is a passionate situation, whether it's work, whether it's falling in love with your own life, whether it's passion that's literal, physical, human touch passion. But at this point, there is an intertwining story that evolves. Okay. Is there anything I need to know about this to tell the collective? The outcome. Okay. And this is why we're going to use, now we're going to use the Thelema. So still based on this storyline, what is going to be the outcome? What is going to be, because we got pretty much an outcome, but what is, so it's not really an outcome. It's, and it's, all right, they want me to delineate. So it feels like for some of you, it's going to be remembering who you are, going back to your roots, going back to your origins, and falling in love with your own life all over again. Or maybe loving your life and yourself for the first time. For some of you, it's going to be taking a good, long, hard look at your life and realizing what has been problematic. What is your new start? What is your new beginning? And you'll get a download. And again, you will go back to the lessons that you learned early on in life. And that will be what shapes your future. You will be divinely guided in either situation about next steps. You will have time to sit, think, and plan about what you want, your life that you are now so in love with and so ready to finally start living again. Because it feels like there's been this dormant stasis, like, you know, when you were up on the mountain, just kind of remembering who you are. And you have found your fire and you have found your passion. So, you found your fire and you found your passion. And you are ready to get rolling with it. Okay. So what is the additional message? What is it, Spirit, that you wanted me to come to the Thelema Tarot? What message? Okay. What is the message? What is the culminating message? And they said, just leave it here, one card. Six of Wands. Yeah, Six of Wands. This, I'm asking, what do you want me to say about this? Why this card, and what is the message for this? From this card for the collective, that this reading applies to. Once you make the decision, once you get the green light, it is going to be fast. And that sword in the center, that glowing sword with an orb at the top, almost looks like, I know it's a single staff, but the way it looks, what I'm seeing, what I'm getting right now is that this is like the 4 points. Oh, wow, I'm getting a lot of interesting, like, I can feel spirit stepping in my nasal passages and in my teeth even, in my ears. What is it that you have to say about this? This is something that is going to be divinely guided. This is something that was planned and brought together before birth. This is something where trials and tribulations have abounded. There will always be some, but they will cease in severity. That card indicates truth, the line of justice, coming into your own, and coming into union with either a community, individual, or learning truly to be happy completely on your own. But it feels like there's others involved here. But it will be like-minded people with a similar vibration of strength, and goodwill, wanting the best for everyone involved. This is strange and right off the top, so if this applies to anyone, please let me know. I have no idea why. I just saw a fish. So either someone is going fishing, someone is swimming in water with fish, or someone is a fish fry. The old-fashioned fish fry, you know? I feel like there is something, and fish very often symbolize abundance. So there is, I think, also abundance coming in and potentially expanding the family. And that can be in all sorts of ways. So if fish is a really important symbol for you, great. And I'm also seeing different types of fish. And the one I'm seeing now that is a symbol for someone is the kind that's kind of, I don't know what it is. I don't know fish very well. But it's kind of big and round and flat, a very narrow fish. But it's got a lot of bright colors on it, like yellow. It almost looks like it's a sunfish. Is there such a thing as a sunfish? I don't know. That's odd. Okay, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to question it. This is, like I said, it's general reading. Who knows who gets what? Okay. Now, that was actually a very positive reading. Very positive reading. Yeah. I did a quick shuffle. I was getting ready to put it back in the box, and they said, look at the bottom. Justice. But the scales are important. Things are coming into balance. So yeah. Basically, that is an exceptionally good reading because you are moving out of despair and out of the depths and into your personal light, your personal sun. And I think you're about to embark on the best years of your life. I open it up to the moon in this deck. And the Four of Cups. Things that are hidden are about to be seen. Things that are hidden are about to be seen. Okay. All right. I think that's it for today. Please be well. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. You know what? Today just feels like not just a celebration day. It's a treat day. Treat yourself to something. I'm going to go get some chocolate. So, big old treat day for me because I feel like we are at the beginning of celebration. Like a real celebration. And I am thrilled. Okay. Thank you all. I love you all so much. I love your perfect souls. I love your support. I love everything about you guys because you're coming together and you're supporting each other. You can do this. We can do this. We've got it. We've got it. We've got it. Okay? You are so much stronger than you know. And if you've got things that you don't understand going on in your life, look inward. Some things I think might be, it could be spirit activity, elemental activity to ask it to slow down and give you a rest. It could be the living who are screwing around with you, or it could just be the beginning of some lapses in thought or memory. And it could be that maybe some medication is required to help get those synapses working the way they should. You know, it could be, there's any number of reasons why sometimes we get confused about things or unsure about things or weird things happen. I have had so many weird experiences. I wouldn't put anything past anyone to and what they're capable of. I promise you. But just remember, you have the power to control what happens in your life as much as possible. If anything seems off, do not hesitate to call the authorities. If nothing else, look at it this way. You might be getting a paper trail started. You know? And that's, I've had to do that. Get paper trails started so that when you then have a big thing you have to report, you know what? Or usually deal with, you've got the backup behind you. So that's just my little 101 that I felt like I needed to say too. Okay, so before I start rambling, because oh my gosh, I do tend to ramble. And I'm sorry about that. Be well, take care. Do something good and find a way, no matter how big or how small, find your celebration. And a lot of you have things to celebrate, so congratulations. I know you do. I can feel it. Congratulations. Be well, take care. I love you all. Thank you.